Okay, before we begin, I want to go over some of the images that we will be using for this tutorial. Now, the first image that we have right here is an image of a lake. We have a nice sky in the air, and then we have some trees, and we're going to be using this image for part of the background for the movie cover. And then we have a picture of these old buildings on the side of this cliff here, which looks kind of cool, and we're going to use that on the bottom of the movie poster. Then we have the finished movie poster right here. And then we have these pictures of the people that will be included into the poster. Please keep in mind, though, we're going to be working with a movie cover that has a very dark background. It's not black, but it's dark. And so the images that you would like to use for your movie cover, if they don't have a dark background, then you're going to need to crop these images or mask the background or remove the background out of the people so you can place them over the darker background. However, if you do have photos that already have a dark background, such as this one over here, then you can just use the paintbrush and mask around the photo, and you don't necessarily have to mask that before you bring it into the project. You can do it while you're in the project. But I've already went ahead and masked all these people right here, so you don't have to. And so let's go ahead and start this tutorial. I'm going to go right over to Photoshop right now, and let's come up here to File, New, and let's create the new image that we'll be using for this movie poster. Now, we're not going to actually make it a real movie poster size, okay? This is just, it'll be too large, and we're going to make this much smaller, so it's just a lot easier to work with, and it's just a smaller file anyway. But we're going to go with something around 1168 pixels wide by 1700 pixels tall, and a resolution of 300. And then I'll go ahead and click OK. And here it is. Okay, so the very first step, what we're going to do is fill this background in with black. So just over on the toolbar, let's select the paint bucket tool, and with black as the foreground, just go ahead and click on the image to fill that in with black. All right, to begin, we're going to start on the background. We're going to totally lay out the background of this movie poster. So let's go over to the Adobe Bridge. And we're going to open up this first image that you see right here of the lake and the trees and the sky. And we're going to use this for the background. So just go ahead and double click on it. And let's bring that into Photoshop. And then I'll select the Move tool on the toolbar. I'll just click on this photo and drag it over to the new, or to our new movie poster image right here. And then I'll just position this around like so. It doesn't have to completely fill the image, but I'm just going to move this around. I'll zoom out here a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to go ahead and just leave that right about there. That looks good. Now, we won't be using the color in this image, so let's just come up here to Image, Adjustments, and just select Desaturate, which is right here, to remove all the color, okay? And then we can come over here and just close this out. We no longer need this. And let's just give this layer a name. So I can just put Lake. Or better yet, we'll just make this Clouds, because the lake part of this photo will not be featured in the poster. So we're going to call this Clouds. Let's go back into the Adobe Bridge, and I want you to open up this next image right here. I'll go ahead and double click on it, and we have these buildings. The rustic buildings are on the side of this cliff, and looks like they're about to fall off. But, I'm going to go ahead and just select the Move tool, click and drag this one over to the project image as well, just like this. And I'll position this down. Now, we're going to actually see this building here in this image. We want to see it anyway, but so we're going to have to resize it so we can see most of the building, just so we get the entire building. It's not, I'm sure it's more than one building. It's not one building, but it's probably a bunch of houses and stuff. But I'm going to go ahead and move this down, and I want to leave this area down here for the credit block. All the credits are going to go on the bottom of the movie poster, so I'm going to move that up a little bit. And I will go ahead and press the Enter key on the keyboard to confirm that transformation. There we go. Doesn't look very exciting? No worries. Because what we're going to do is desaturate this layer as well, because we really don't need the color. We're going to create our own color and our own drama for this poster. Let's go right up here to Image, Adjustments, and desaturate this layer as well. So let's just, whoops, I'm going to go ahead and double click on this layer, and we're going to call it Buildings. All right, looking good. Now let's go ahead and zoom into the image here. Well, I will, just real quick, because I'm going to remove the sky behind these buildings here, and we're going to replace that sky with this sky that we have on the clouds layer.